I'm Steve from the Celtic Farm, and today in our education series we're going to talk about companion planting. We'll give you a quick overview and then provide some resources so you can use this age-old technique to help your garden prosper. So what is companion planting? Whenever I do these presentations, I like to provide a definition so that we can all get on the same page. And if you look online, probably the best definition that I found was from the Old Farmer's Almanac. Companion planting is when two plants are grown near each other to benefit one of those plants or both. So the benefit can be either a one-way or a two-way street. And this is a tried, tested way to reduce pests, attract pollinators, and boost growth. So there's some controversy about this subject, especially in academia. They argue that a lot of this is myth and lore. It's things that have been passed down, that have been done by farmers that really has no scientific proof. And they argue that using the word companion is just way too broad. It implies that plants have some kind of sixth sense where they work together, and they would rather us use the words intercropping, polyculture, association, all scientific-based words. I appreciate that, but in this case, in this presentation, we're going to go over topics that are proven by empirical observation, farming experience through hundreds of years, and by science. And I'm still going to call it companion planting because that's what people understand from a garden perspective. And then there's a ton of evidence throughout history of different combinations of companion planting and how it actually thrived. So one of the most popular is the Three Sisters method, which was used by Native Americans, where they mixed corn, beans, and squash together. And each of those plants supports the others, whether it's nitrogen fixation by the beans and legumes, shade by the squash that prevents weeds, or corn that becomes a natural trellis for the beans. So those are some different examples historically. In Asia, if you go beyond plants, farmers have practiced for a very long time intercropping rice with certain types of fish that eat pests. And then the ancient Egyptians mixed wheat and barley together, and they had kind of a crop rotation, which altered not only the structure of the soil, but also the chemical composition of the soil as well, and created great yields over time. So let's talk a little bit about biology and the benefits from a nutrient sharing and soil health perspective. A couple examples are any type of bean or legume actually fixes nitrogen into the soil. So if you have plants that require high nitrogen content, like corn, they can really do well together and have that symbiotic relationship. Other plants that have deep roots can also break up the soil, go deeper and create space for oxygen and water and other nutrients. From a physical support perspective, we talked a little bit about corn and how in the Three Sisters method that corn can be used as a stock. Sunflowers are also great physical support for growth of vines like beans and other types. From a pest and weed control perspective, there's a couple examples. Any plant that has a strong scent, things like basil, lavender, and others can actually repel airborne pests and also pests that come underground. One example of that is marigolds, which exude a chemical from their root, which actually kills nematodes in the soil and can prevent those soil baddies from getting to your plants. And then weed control, if you look at the Three Sisters method, squash actually has a really large leaf, and that shade prevents germination of weeds. So you can actually use that. There's also seasonal crops like clover and others that you can lay out that will prevent weed growth and once again affix nitrogen into the soil as you till it in. Many things have complementary growth habits. One example would be lettuce and tomatoes. Lettuce is a shade-loving plant. Tomatoes grow fairly tall, and they have those complementary growth habits and can be mixed together. And then we always want to think about the environment and provide a sustainable, productive farming methods. And using these companion planting, which is just a a natural way of augmenting your garden is a great way to think about the environment and clean soil. So let's talk about some common companions. There's companions that are great for vegetables, companions that are great for flower growth, and some companions are great for both, and you can intermix them out in your garden to have a big benefit. Tomatoes and basil, they're not only great in the kitchen, but they're also great in the garden. And basil, with that strong scent, can repel flies and mosquitoes and some other pests. And then marigolds deter soil-borne baddies like nematodes. So you mix those all together, you get a great triple threat. Carrots, if you plant carrots with onions, once again, that strong scent, really powerful odor from the plant can repel carrot flies. Lettuce, we talked about, loves growing under taller plants like tomatoes or beans. Peppers, great companion plants, are onions, spinach, and tomatoes. And then beans, we talked about the Three Sisters method. Corn and beans work really well together, as those beans provide some of the nutrients that corn really needs to grow and be healthy. Here at Celtic Farm, we are a flower farm, so we intermix marigolds, nasturtium, sunflower, lavender, all within our crops. Lavender and marigolds, those scents repel deer and rabbits we found over time, as well as some soil-borne insects. And then we use sunflowers. It gets really hot here, so sometimes sunflowers we'll put near our sun-sensitive flowers. And in the late afternoon, those can provide some great shade. So lots of different examples that you have here. So that's it. Just a quick overview of companion planting and the topic. If you like it, please like and subscribe. And you can find some great resources on our blog at thecelticfarm.com. We have some companion planting articles as well as a chart which has all different types of plants and companions that work. So have a great day and happy gardening.